So hi everyone, thank you for being here today. So today I'm going to talk about the privacy implications on Web3. I would like to thank my co-authors, Fiona and Shweta. So let's dive into Web3. So what is Web3? I mean, what is the problem with Web2? Web2 is very centralized. It's centralized across a small group of companies. And the idea of Web3 is to basically solve this issue and make it more decentralized. Decentralize your data using means such as blockchain technology. So the way this works is usually you interact with something called a decentralized application, which is a website that actually talks with the blockchain, can interact with the blockchain. Right now, there are more than 1,000 of these D-apps deployed. The current market capitalization is valued at $3 billion, and there's a growing trend. The idea is that at the end of the century, this will be $30 billion. So there's a lot of money involved, a lot of interest involved in this Web3 space. Now, how do you interact with Web3? How does it work? So we have our user, we have our simple Web2 enabled browsers, such as Google Chrome, for example. And the user, when he wants to interact with the D-app, he simply visits a website, and the browser will request this page and display this page. Okay, so far, no Web3 stuff involved here. So we have this Web2 enabled browser, and we need to turn this into a Web3 enabled browser. The easiest way to do this is to install a browser extension. And the most popular browser extension that does this is called MetaMask. It's a wallet. It helps you interact with the blockchain. It acts like a gateway to the blockchain. And what is interesting about MetaMask is that this is the most popular wallet. It has over 10 million users. And so the way it works is when you visit then such a D-app, this website, it has like a connect button. Because the thing is, you have the website and you have the wallet, and then you need to connect both in order to allow the website to interact with the blockchain. So on this website, you will find typically a connect button that you click, and then afterwards, the wallet is going to pop up a window where the user can then select an address, a wallet address to connect to the website. So once the user agrees and connects his wallet to the website can now request information such as his wallet address, but can also interact with the blockchain via the wallet. It can then request things like your balance or previous transactions or even send transactions to the blockchain. Good. So now we understand a little bit how Web3 works. Now the question is, what about privacy? Because the problem is that in comparison to Web2, Web3 introduces quite a lot of sensible information. So you have this wallet address that is unique, acts like almost like a bank account number. You have transactions, so people can see on the blockchain publicly what you're doing, what you're purchasing, you can get the balance, so a lot of sensible information. And the problem is that Web3 technology is based on Web2 technology. And Web2 technology, so like I was telling you, these D-apps, they are nothing else than websites. And those websites, they can include third-party scripts like advertisers and so on. Also, all the traffic is routed via TCP/IP. This means that when you interact with such a D-app, the D-app sees your IP address. So we were asking ourselves, is the privacy of Web3 users at risk? So here are our contributions. We did the first large-scale study on wallet address leakage across D-apps and wallet extensions. And we also did the first measurement study on the prevalence of Web3-based browser fingerprinting. And finally, we also analyzed the efficiency of popular ad blockers in blocking actually Web3-based online tracking. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the trap model. So who do we trust? We trust the user and we trust the browser. Who we don't trust is the wallet extension. Now, this wallet extension can interact, or typically interacts with the blockchain, typically via an API, so in a third-party blockchain provider. So this provider we also do not trust. Then the website that the user visits, we also do not trust. We don't know what the website does with all the data. And then finally, the website can also include some third-party scripts that we are not aware of, like advertisers. So those third-party scripts we also don't trust. Okay, so the first problem is this wallet address leakage. Your wallet address is kind of unique. Right? It's like a bank account number. And this wallet address is provided to the website via a JavaScript object that MetaMask injects into the website. But this object does not make a difference between the website or a third-party script. So any third-party script that is included in that website, if you connect to the website, any third-party script will have access to your wallet address as well. And so the third-party script can read this information, your wallet address, and simply send it to the backend. Not only that, if on that website you also have to provide your email address, the third-party script will get your email address and also have access to your IP address and can basically combine all this information together. Well, your anonymity is basically gone then. Good, so that's the first problem. The second problem is Web3 based browser fingerprinting. So browser fingerprinting, I don't know how many of you heard about it. It's a big problem on the web. The idea is very simple. You collect a lot of information about users via JavaScript, for example, and then you try to create this unique fingerprint, this unique hash. This allows you to track users across websites. So Web3 just actually augments this problem that we already have. So the thing is, like I told you, this MetaMask extension injects a JavaScript object on every single website that you visit, independently if you connect it to the website or not. So even if you didn't connect, the plugin is going to inject a JavaScript object into the DOM. Now, the websites themselves and third-party scripts, what they can do is they can read this object. And although they cannot read your wallet address if you didn't connect, they can still detect this object. So from that object, they can infer what kind of cryptocurrencies you own and what kind of wallet you use. And they can also use this to augment the browser fingerprint about the user. Okay, so what we did is we basically measured all of these two problems. And we built a framework to do this. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of the framework, how it works. Feel free to check out the paper if you want to know the technical details. And all the code and the data are available on GitHub, by the way. So let's talk about the results. Let's talk about measuring wallet address leakage. So we crawled over 600 different DApps in an automated fashion. Think about it, you need to connect to the website, you need to connect your wallet to it, so there's a lot of work involved. We created this framework that does this all automatically. So we managed to connect automatically to over 600 of these DApps, and what we did afterwards, we intercepted all the traffic. So HTTP requests, such as GET requests, POST requests, but also WebSocket requests, and also cookies. And afterwards, we looked into the contents of this traffic in order to see if our wallet address is in there. So we found that actually 1/3 of the DApps that we interacted with leak your wallet address to a third party. And not only that, we took the top 20 third parties that we identified, and we checked their privacy policy. So we read their privacy policy, and we checked if they say something about collecting your IP address. And the thing is, 19 out of the 20, so 95%, actually collect your IP address. It's stated there. So you know that, actually, now we know they are collecting our wallet address, and we know for sure they have access to our IP address that they collected. So here's, for example, a very simplistic example. So this is a DApp called Degens.farm, and there we detected in an HTTP GET request, okay, in the parameters, we detected our wallet address highlighted in red, being leaked to Google Analytics. Right, so now we talked about measuring wallet address leakage on the apps. Then there's also, we wanted to understand what is the leakage inside a wallet extension. So for that, we installed 100 popular wallet extensions. And then the same thing, we intercepted all the traffic that is going out of these extensions. And then, so the good news here is that, so we don't trust the wallet extension. We're maybe thinking that they might leak your password or your browsing history because they have access. It's a browser extension, right? They can see what websites you are visiting. But the good news is that they are not leaking your password, and they're also not leaking your browser history. Now, the bad news is that 13 of the 100 extensions actually leak your wallet address to a third party. This can be blockchain providers, but also like advertisers. Okay, the final thing that we did is we tried to measure this Web3 based browser fingerprinting. For that, what we did is we crawled the top 100 Tranco websites. And there what we did is we intercepted any JavaScript calls from the website to this wallet object, this object that MetaMask injects into the website. So we found that actually 800 scripts access this object across 1,000 websites and leverage this information in combination with other properties to do browser fingerprinting, other properties like your screen resolution, plugins you have installed, and language, and so on. And what is also interesting here is that from the third parties or the website that we found, most of them are related to pornography. But also, like, some are very popular websites like TikTok and New York Times and Mega, they also collect this wallet information. Here's an example of XAmster of the script that we detected. So they check if you have Ethereum installed, Binance Chain, and Solana, and they simply send it back to their backend using a very simple XML HTTP request. Good. So we measured all of this, and now we were wondering, okay, what can users do to protect themselves? So what we did is we analyzed very popular, 5 popular ad blockers, and we found out that whotracks.me gives you the best protection, with 43% of the requests being blocked. The weakest protection is provided by Disconnect. And then usually people say the more the better, right? So we try to check the combination of these. So if you install all 5 of them, what happens? And yes, so more requests are blocked So the combination results in 56% being blocked. But however, this still means that 44% are not being blocked. Okay, so to conclude, Web3 wallets, they pose a serious threat to the privacy of users. They haven't really been designed with privacy in mind. We found evidence of popular websites, such as the New York Times, TikTok, and so on, actually performing Web3-based browser fingerprinting. Then we also found that 34% of the D apps that we connected to, they leak your wallet address to third parties, and that 44% of the third parties are not being blocked by popular ad blockers. So this brings us to the conclusion that actually new solutions need to be developed in order to provide privacy on Web3. And that's it for my talk. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a message after the session. You can also check out the code and the data. Everything is public. You can go check it out, play around. And yeah, I'm happy to take any questions.